Hey everyone, this is Coach Mark from Panther Fitness, and what we're doing today is I'm going to take you through a little dissection of one of our clients, a successful client's food journal. This particular client has been working with me now on her diet and nutrition, meeting with me pretty consistently for quite a while now, quite a few months. She's lost a considerable amount of weight. I think she's down probably close to 40 pounds now. She's not too far off of her goal weight, so we wanted to take this time and break down her journal because it's pretty beautiful. As you can tell here, it's really well put together, and she spends a lot of time recording her food journal, which is one of the most beneficial aspects of controlling a diet. It's one of the things that we harp on a lot, and people who do it tend to be the most successful. So, as you can see here, we have a Saturday from November and a Sunday of her food log. Now she's taking a lot more than just these weeks. She's been logging ever since she started her diet with us, but we wanted to take these 2 days and explain why she does some of the things she does and what we've instructed her to take as far as supplementation and how to time her meals properly around workouts and such. So let's just break it down step by step. So if you look in the far right column, you're going to see her timestamps of when she ate the food, and on the far left side of exactly what she ate meal by meal. And the columns here with the numbers in it represent her starting from the top column with that 1318 number. That is her calorie count for the day. The next number is her fat intake, I believe. No, her carbohydrate intake. And then the next column over, the 66 represents her fat intake. The 87 is her protein intake, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly. But anyway, that has nothing to do with what we're going to talk about today. We're not getting into amounts because everyone's amounts are just individualized depending on your needs, body size, metabolism, and overall your own genetic code here. So let's just look at her food choices, her timing, and talk about why she did the things she did. So starting with her breakfast at 7:06 a.m. of her top column here on the row 311 underneath breakfast, you can see that she started her day by using the Ionic Supreme product by Isagenix. What this product is basically an antioxidant, very powerful health and overall general detoxifying product. I myself as a coach take it, and I find it does wonders. You can treat this product when you take it as just an overall health supplement. So she starts her day off right by taking that in first thing in the morning with some water. And she starts her day off with nice, healthy, organic sources of fat. You can see that she does extra virgin coconut oil and Irish grass-fed butter by the company Kerrygold. Now, this particular client is doing a certain style of diet because she's lost a good amount of weight, and we needed to keep that train rolling. So this is kind of an advanced diet, but the fact remains that she starts her day with fat, and fat only on this particular day, because on her Saturday she engages in a boxing class. So it's very cardiovascular based, not so much strength training. So she doesn't need a ton of protein to begin the day off. We're looking to get her metabolic kicking with metabolism kicking rather with coconut oil, which contains what's called MCTs, medium chain triglycerides. So that's why she starts off with pure fat, and she's sending signals to her body to not store as you would with taking in carbohydrates through the day. So she eats her breakfast at 7:06 a.m. She makes her way to the gym. She has an intense workout with us at Panther Fitness for about an hour. Really gets that heart rate thumping and burns a ton of calories. After her workout, you can see she has her breakfast when she gets home at 11:35 a.m. Starts off perfectly. She has good sources of protein from her egg whites, and she gets in some fiber from some banana peppers and some more fat. So as the pattern is developing here is we like fat in our diets as opposed to carbohydrates for fuel. So if you look at her meal, eggs with banana peppers. She made herself a nice little omelet and cooked it in olive oil. Perfect. It's a good way to keep your metabolism rolling and prevent some storage hormones. Because remember, this isn't a strength training day. This is a more cardiovascular day. So she doesn't need a ton of carbohydrates to replenish glycogen stores so much because she's not demanding that from her body. Now, as we go down the list here at 1:47 p.m., that's a good spacing from 11:35. It's a good time. She has some lunch. So you can look, she has some protein and some kale. And that's protein and some carbohydrates from the kale, fibrous carbohydrates. Great. Still doesn't need a lot of fat in that meal because she had plenty in the beginning stages of her day. Going on to her dinner, which is a little later than I like to see it on this day, but nonetheless, she did a pretty good job on this day overall. Her dinner is grass-fed ground beef, again stressing the grass-fed from grass-fed sources. That's always a positive thing. And you can look and see that her carbohydrate intake on these meals comes from vegetables, and she gets some healthy fats from her avocados, and she has a little bit of alcohol that night. This is her Saturday. This is her day that we encourage her to kind of not necessarily splurge, but definitely treat herself a little bit because she's done so well, and she chose to use her little splurge on a couple cans of beer, it looks like. I prefer her not to drink the beer and maybe go for something else, maybe like a red wine or a clear liquor if she's going to indulge in a little bit of alcohol. But, you know, for the amount of work she does and the workouts that I run her through on this Saturday, because I coach her class, I can tell her body can make use of that. So that's okay. And snacks through the day, you can look, she had, the spacing looked to be a little better than I previously thought. She had almonds and an isoline bar as snacks for the day. She had the almonds in the middle of the day at 12:45, and a little later on the isoline bar by Isagenix, which is basically a meal replacement, which is high in protein, high in healthy fat, and she has a nice bit of carbohydrates coming in there also from complex sources. So as you can see, she's getting in plenty of carbohydrates in the day, even though she's not eating things like breads. She's not eating pastas or potatoes or anything like that, and she feels great. And the one thing we always stress is we want you to feel good on your diet, but at the same time doing things that's going to get that body fat off your body. So one thing I stress to her is that communication between me and her has to be of the utmost importance, and on these days I always keep track of how she's feeling, and she's feeling great. And so she did good. The grade for her Saturday, I would probably give that a strong B+, if not an A-, just because I don't like to see beer in fat loss diets, and I would say that she probably could have upped her protein intake just a bit, but you know, overall that's a pretty good score for a day. And as we go down to Sunday, which is her off day, she only does a bit of cardiovascular work because she prefers that. I don't require her to do that on Sundays at this point in her diet, but she does like to go for a little bit of a run. I encourage people not to use running as a staple exercise, but she prefers running one day a week. She enjoys it, so I say go for it. And she does that first thing in the morning, and that's before breakfast in a fasted state to really draw upon some body fat stores. So for breakfast, once again, she starts her day off perfectly with that Ionic Supreme product, getting her cells healthy and energized for the rest of the day. And again, she uses that organic coconut oil, and she has some coffee with that grass-fed butter, and her next meal of the day is nothing but protein and some healthy carbohydrates coming from the veggies found in salsa. And yeah, that's a great breakfast and a great way to start the day. As we go down the list here, she has a meal replacement for lunch. She has one of those isoline bars, which are insanely tasty and filling, really. So she's doing well with that. And then she doesn't eat again until about 2:30 p.m. down there at the bottom of her snacks list, which she has some Isoline Pro meal replacement. So she used 2 meal replacements in a row right there. Not a necessarily bad thing. I prefer to her to kind of stagger whole food meals and meal replacements, but it's still a good thing to do there, especially on an off day. Like I said, Sunday she's not doing any kind of weight training, so she's getting in plenty of protein, repairing her tissue for the following week's boot camps, because she does work extremely hard in boot camp to push her strength levels, and she continues to get stronger and stronger. And also you can notice here on this Sunday is a cleanse day for her. She uses the Isagenix cleanse system to basically detoxify the system, and she's engaged in one of our fitness challenges this month, and she's really looking to take away that first place prize. So she's using a cleanse, one of the cleanse products from Isagenix to really boost that. So at this point in her diet, she wouldn't be cleansing normally. We usually like to start diets off with a cleanse, kind of get things rolling, but she kind of wanted to go the extra mile, so she uses cleanses on Sundays, and that's the cleanse product is simply a powderized product that she eats, and yeah, that's it. And she looks like she got in some almonds as a snack at about 9 a.m. Well, maybe she was a little hungry after her breakfast because her metabolism's revving from her intense workouts, because this particular client works very, very hard. And one thing I want to point out with this food log here, comparing Saturday to Sunday, if you look in the column under D, that's her total calorie count. She has, significantly less calories on her Sunday and than her Saturday, and that's because she's not doing the same activity. So we like to eat dynamically here at Panthro, and when you're not doing a ton of activity, you're not going to be eating as much as you were during a day when you have a tense workout. So she does that perfectly. Now, this particular client, because of her body size, I tend to think that she eats a little lower calorie than I'd like to see, but however, I can't knock it because she has continued to drop weight consistently, and only now, after dieting now for close to, well, not dieting, but, attempting to lose body fat now for going on, close to 4 or 5, maybe even 6 months now, and she's lost close to 40 pounds, her metabolism is going to generally start to slow down and recognize what's going on in her body. And again, the body's about survival, so we want those calories to stay as high as possible while coming from good sources. Now, this particular person feels great eating low calories. Some people feel better than others. Some people have a general better way of dealing with lower calorie diets than some people. Some people require more calories. Their brains require more calories to function at their optimal level. So I always make sure to communicate to this person that she should feel energized throughout the day. She should be getting stronger during her weight training, and she is. So I have no problem with her eating a little bit lower calories. I wouldn't generally prescribe this low of calories for someone. I would generally like to see your calories up maybe more towards the 1,300 calories per day consistently, maybe even a little higher for someone with her amount of muscle on her frame, because she is a particularly strong female. But overall, she's doing very, very well. So as you can see, this comes down to food logging. So she logs her food religiously every day. As you can tell as I scroll through here, she does a lot of food logging. You look at this. This is a really good job. And she continues to food log, and she has from day one with timestamps. And she also is communicating with me how she's feeling every time we get together. So bottom line is, looking at this Sunday and Saturday, I would give the Saturday a strong B+, maybe even an A- score. And her Sunday, besides that, that double stacking of meal replaces, I would give this also a strong B+, or maybe even an A- as well. So again, the general rule of thumb here is, as you can tell, is she starts her day off with healthy sources of fat. And I know some of you are looking at that Irish butter and saying like, oh, butter's healthy. Well, this Irish butter, yes, it is. It's from a grass-fed source. It's unsalted, and she starts her day off with it. And she only uses a tablespoon. It equates to about 14 grams of fat. Saturated fat, yes, but saturated fat it is healthy for the body if you're engaged in weight training and exercising on a very consistent basis like this client is. So overall, these 2 days combined, I would give this at least a B+ score, if not an A-. And the only thing I would say to her to increase that score and overall better is eliminate that alcoholic beverage on Saturdays, because even though beer is a lot of fun, it is a depressant on the metabolism. And if your goal is optimal fat loss each and every day, which it should be if you have a goal of reaching with your physique, you need to get rid of that alcohol as much as possible. Also, another thing I want to comment on is her intake of vegetables. She's eating a lot of vegetables, as you can tell. Lettuce, spinach, onions. She has, some fruits in there, some avocado. She's banana peppers, and but another thing I have to talk about is she uses supplements. She uses vitamins. She takes in extra minerals through the Ionix product. So basically, that Ionix product is all the best parts of fruits and vegetables in powderized form. So she's getting all these good phytochemicals and nutrients out of these vegetables. And that goes a long way of feeling good and energized throughout the day. You can eat pretty low calories as long as you're getting in the right amount of vitamins and minerals, which this client definitely is. And this audio file has now exceeded the time I wanted it to, but I wanted to make sure I was as detailed as possible. So yes, this person gets a very good grade from me, and I hope the people listening to this audio can get something out of this, and hopefully we'll do more of these in the future. Okay, guys, thank you very much for your time. All right, this is Mark Sestock from Panthro Fitness signing off. Thanks.